access into our community is through winding, narrow roads. And Fox is not really on the way to anywhere. You have to be intending to come here to pass through. This mountain we're going up is what folks from Fox call Timbo Mountain. However, the people from Timbo don't want to claim the mountain either, and they call it Fox Mountain. You might wonder what the community of Fox, a small place like this, contributes toward the support of our nation. We have many veterans from this community who have served our country. This community center, in fact, was originally an American Legion post, and it was named after Mr. Adams, who was killed in World War I, and Mr. Orrin Branscombe, who was killed in World War II. Those men gave their all. Our community honors local veterans by including their photos on this wall that surrounds this community center. Over here, you'll see pictures of the Ackerman brothers, 5 brothers who all served in World War II. And over here is a photo of Robert Linville, a longtime resident of Fox. And he served in Burma during World War II. And he related his 350-mile trek through the jungles of Burma, swimming the rivers at flood stage. He was a combat rifleman with orders to drive the enemy out of Burma. He was injured and received the Purple Heart. And Robert answered the call to duty and served his country well. The Fox community has men and women currently serving in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. And so it has been for rural America, which has traditionally seen a higher rate of enlistment than from urban and suburban areas of our country. Another way the Fox community contributes to the stability of our country is through food production. Local cattle and poultry production contributes to the nation's food supply. Local produce growers also contribute to the food supply. So if you like to eat beef or chicken or fresh produce, you can thank farmers from Fox and all across rural America who make it available to you, even in years when they may not make a profit. We also have in the Fox community many successful artists and craftsmen that ship their products around the world and contribute substantially to the local economy as well as the national economy. Residents of Fox take their citizenship duties very seriously, and this is evidenced every time there's an election. There's a good voter turnout in this area. Folks from Fox like to vote, whether it's the school board election or state, local, national races. You can count. Rural communities like Fox go above and beyond in supporting our country. Yet rural Americans in general and Arkansans in particular are finding themselves in the crosshairs of the U.S. Postal Service's efforts to downsize and make a profit. Arkansas has the highest percentage of post offices on the prospective closure list of any other state. Now, the Fox Post Office has been around for over 100 years. And while most would agree that we need to look for ways, measures to be taken to cut costs across the entire postal service system, there are many good reasons that Fox Post Office should remain open. Let's listen to what some of our local residents have to say about it.
Okay.
Hi, Miss Edna.
Hello.
I just wanted to ask you why you think that we should keep the post office here in Fox.
Well, there's a lot of reasons why I think we should keep the post office, but one is the fact that most of the people in this area are older people and we're not online. I know in a lot of places people pay their bills online. Here, the elderly people, we just get them in the mail, we pay them by mail. and we pick our packages up at the post office. We come and buy our stamps at the post office. Those are some of the reasons.
Hi, Missy.
Hi, Zoe.
I just wanted to ask you why you think we should get to keep our post office here in Fox.
Well, there's a lot of reasons that we need this post office. We do live in a very rural area. A lot of us have to drive a significant distance of 5 or 10 miles just to get to this post office. It's a central location and a cornerstone of this community. I am a veteran and I get my medication from the VA, and there are at least 2 medications that I receive every month that I have to go to the post office and sign for. And so that's a potentially 2 days that I would have to spend to drive all the way to another town and back. And that's a significant amount of time. That's 2 hours round trip by the time you get down these mountain hills. And I don't think that most people understand how remote we really are. The road to Timbo is impassable from either direction, usually for a couple weeks during the winter. It's a dangerous road. I personally have totaled a car going down that mountain. Another issue that concerns me is that I sell books on Amazon.com as a fundraiser for my 4-H club. And we won't be able to use that fundraiser anymore if I have to drive to another community because the gas will cost $2.
Hello, Mr. Mike.
Hi, how are you, Zoe?
I'm good. I just wanted to ask you, what are your opinions about keeping our post office here in Fox?
I would like to see them keep it open because for me it's a quite convenience. It's a 7-mile drive for me just to come up here to get my packages. I have no mail service, so this is my only option. I'm a VA veteran. I get my medications through the mail. I just really hate to see this post office close.
Hi, Miss Lynn.
Hey, Zoe.
I just wanted to ask you why you think that we should keep our post office here in Fox.
I just moved here about a year ago from Mountain Home, and everything was right at your fingertips.
Yeah.
So being out here and everything so far away, the post office has been really good to have across the road. And I do send stuff in the mail quite often, so it's good to have it where I can just walk to it. And my husband's disabled and gets his medicine in the mail here too.
So for y'all, it
would be really.
Hi, Miss Pearl.
Hello, Zoe.
I just want to ask you why you think we should keep our post office here in Fox.
Well, I guess it's rather personal reason, but my husband's a veteran. He gets his medicine here. He can't drive. He's not allowed to drive. So if they move the post office, then that's going to leave me having to take on another job.
Yeah.
So he feels really good that he can walk across the road and get the mail.
Right.
So
How far would it be for you to drive to a different town?
about 15 miles to
So
Shirley.
It'd be inconvenient.
Yes,
for
very
sure.
inconvenient. And then it would be the long distance phone calls if we had to call.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
See you. I'm Miss Sage.
Hey, Zoe.
I just wanted to ask you why the post office in Fox is important to you.
Well, I've been coming here since 1998. We've had a post office box, and a box for us is really important because the security issue of receiving and sending valuable items, because we have a mail order business and we pay state and federal taxes, and we moved out into a rural area which happens to be one of the most rugged places in Arkansas. And there's 4 creek crossings and a hill that must be about 700-foot climb, and very hard on vehicles. And I have a feeling that if we end up requiring them to deliver, they're going to be sorry.
Right.
You know, it's not going to be cheaper for them to come around and deliver to the individual mailboxes. We've been making it easy on the post office by coming here, and I think I'd just give up on the post office altogether if I have to go to Shirley, because that's the wrong direction, and even if I have to go to Timbo or Leslie, because that's also
A drive.
yeah. And in the winter we can barely even get to here, let alone all the way to those places.
Right.
And our busiest time of year is the winter. It just is for what we make. So it's just incredibly important that they don't take this post office, which is a community as well. And we've had so many hardships here in Fox, you know, with the ice storm and the tornadoes, and a lot of reasons why we need our community. This is a real center for it.
Hi, Mr. Tom.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask you what your opinions are about us keeping the post office in Fox.
as an American citizen, I'm outraged that they'd even consider to shut our post office down. In a time of homeland security and buffing up our infrastructure and our security, a post office is an integral part of keeping our nation connected together, especially people in rural places. The first thing that the federal government ever did was created our post office, so it's beyond sentimental. It's practical. The reason we're losing our post office is because of the internet and the bill paying and everything you can do on the internet. Well, what happens when the internet shuts down? The internet to me seems like a very vulnerable tool that we're using, and we need this post office. We as citizens, we are trying more to do business off the internet, but we have to ship our product out. We have small items that we ship all over the world, and it's a great convenience to us to have this post office here.
Hello.
Hello?
I know that you are a school employee, and I just wanted to ask you why it's important for the school to have a post office in our community.
Well, our school uses post office a lot. They have lots of mail that they have to send out, and
For some students, maybe they would.
Well, the Zollmeister was
Yeah, I am.
I know. Well, I thought so.
We're going to make our big debut. I just wanted to know why it's important for you guys to have a post office here in Fox.
Well, kind of, she's very limited ability in driving.
Oh.
Well, she does. She didn't have to drive until I got like this. And
So it would be really inconvenient to have
it
to
would
drive.
be terribly
very
inconvenient.
inconvenient to have to go somewhere.
We
all
got
the way.
very limited range we can go. She can go to Mountain View about as far as she can get.
What all do you guys use the post office for?
Well, they send me my medicine. The VA sends me my medicine and appointments and
Anything we order.
Hey, Miss Branscombe.
Hey Zoe, how you doing?
Good. I just wanted to ask you why it's convenient and important for you to have a post office in Fox.
It's extremely important for me because I get all my mail at my post office box. I don't like to have a post office, like a mailbox sitting on the side of the road because, you know, sometimes those country boys like to play mailbox baseball, and I don't want my bank statement flying all over the county showing I only have $3 left in there. And if I had to drive to either Shirley or Timbo, that would be a really long drive all the way, and I probably wouldn't be able to do it every day because I'm so busy. So it's really important for me to keep this here because I use it every day. I'm in here every day checking my mail.
I own an internet book distribution company that about a year ago we relocated to Fox, which is a rural community. All of our books are shipped through the United States Postal Service, and these packages these are the shipments just for today. But in addition to these shipments, we also use the local post office to receive all of our returns, as well as shipping in all of our purchases. The post office is critical to my business because they offer some of the lowest rates available to ship books. So I would hope that in making their decision that the U.S. Postal Service will take into account the current level of business that the local post office here is doing rather than just looking at the irrelevant historical data.